Hello everyone, welcome to Toyeen Talks. Báwo ló ṣe ń lọ lọ́dọ̀ yín? Okay, this is just a quick one. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Till I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you all. Bye.
And don't forget, they were trying to, according to Prime Boy, they were trying to clear the road. That was what gets this guy agitated. Mohbad. He wanted to go home and the road was blocked. They were trying to clear it.
All those guys, their story not clear, Gary. When Prime Boy director, the same guy that left
they were arguing with Womi. He was also arguing with Womi.
The guy that left there with Prime Boy, that the director, were you know on this platform? Were you here when that guy came here?
Yes, director? Now he said Prime Boy was running and two people were running after him. Prime Boy failed.
Why is Prime Boy denying that? So all of them are not
even the driver, yes, even the driver have also collaborated that they were beating Prime Boy.
They are not serious.
Do you know that?
But you see, the thing is this here. Let's say if it was Mohbad and someone like Tantan, or maybe Davido, or those guys, if they were fighting, I think it's Obi Kubana. Sorry, Chief Priest Kubana would have to settle them, but. He doesn't even know Prime Boy. He doesn't know Prime Boy. Do you understand? So he only cares about Mohbad. So it's okay for him to come and ask Mohbad, what's going on? Stop fighting. Then he goes. He doesn't have to say, okay, go and call the guy. Let's come and settle it. Like, who is Prime Boy? He doesn't know Prime Boy.
My sister, there are like three different versions of the stories on that ground that day. If you listen to the driver, he said everything was fine when they left home. The first story that we heard was that Mohbad ordered just a Prado. So the fight started from home. They had to call another Prado. That Wunmi was not meant to go to the show with them, if you remember. That she now had to do this thing. Mohbad was now arranging them. Prime Boy sit here, spending, sit at the back. So on their way, they did. It was few weeks ago or few days ago that they now had to tell us that they went somewhere on the island before they got somewhere. They said they went directly to the show before, and the argument started. The argument started between this thing that Mohbad called. He said CY called Mohbad one particular name, and he didn't like it.
But
engineer, do you remember that story?
Yeah. But this driver also said they had to wait.
CY, it was Prime Boy that called Mohbad's promise, not CY.
No, they argue.
Yeah, but engineer, that the driver said that they didn't have to wait.
Engineer, she just corrected what you're saying. She's right.
That they had to wait.
It was not Womi that said promise that called Mohbad name that they don't like.
Womi said Prime Boy called Mohbad. He were promise. That was Mohbad.
Yes.
That was the lie of Womi.
There were three versions of that story.
Okay, Talo, who called Mohbad the promise? Or what did name calling came about? Because I don't understand what you're saying.
We have Wunmi version.
What the Wunmi version? What the Wunmi version?
Hold on now, let me talk. Where she said Mohbad, Prime Boy called Mohbad one particular name. We had another one where they said he started with a fight like Wunmi also called this thing. And they started arguing about it.
Better, you're not getting. Please tell us what Wunmi said, and tell us what each and anybody you're quoting. Tell us who.
I'm trying to remember that name. There is one you have.
There's only one person so far who was in that car and who said that Mohbad was called promise, and that is Wunmi. No other person says so. Please.
No. We had another story.
Maybe somebody else out of the public said it, but not. Is it Spending? Spending can never say so now. Talk about people.
Hold on.
Anybody to say so, they have to be in that car, right?
No, it was Prime Boy. Prime Boy said that on Supreme's Live. That there's a Yoruba name that they usually call Mohbad. That he didn't even call Mohbad that. that he did not, that he knows that promise wouldn't be something that Mohbad would react to.
I
If
don't know
it
why
was that
people
Yoruba name,
One
okay,
thing they are,
maybe
one
Mohbad
thing they are
would
close.
react to it.
No, I got you. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. So Prime Boy was trying to debunk Wunmi, okay, that like there's a different name that Mohbad doesn't like being called. Okay, Prime Boy confirm it, right? But Wunmi now said it is promise. So maybe Wunmi got it wrong. Maybe Wunmi was trying to talk about
Can't
that
hear you,
particular
Papa.
name.
So
You can't hear me.
the third one, Unko,
You can't hear me. Talk about the third one. Let me hear, please.
the third version of the story was that there was no issue at all. They were these touts wanted to collect money, and everywhere was rough. Mohbad wanted to go home, and
But that was in the same story now. That's in the same story. We are talking about one particular calling of name. It's only two versions.
I said three versions. I wasn't specific about the name.
And again, engineer, I want to say something. You see, yeah, Papa, you're breaking. You see, yeah, I want to say something again. You know that they said that they were supposed to go with one Prado.
Yeah, that was
but
the
because
first story.
because Wunmi came into the car. So now I want to ask this question. Now we have Adura, we have Lifestyle, we have what's this guy's name? Ade West. So now, if only because Wunmi was coming that made them to order an extra what's it called now? Extra Prado. So now is it only Wunmi that made them make that decision? Because you know there's a whole lot of people. One Prado wouldn't have contained them. So I'm sure that the initial plan was to go with two Prado. So it's not even because Wunmi was coming that made them order extra Prado. If you know what I'm
their
saying.
story is not clear. That was the story
Exactly.
that was now. So people should take their time and listen to all these people before following them to be like this person is innocent or not. Everything is not clear. Everything, even the driver, we should be scared. We should be worried. Sorry, that all of them are saying different things. Could be a tactics.
And one thing again I've noticed, it seems like the only story that seems to be corroborating is the one they're actually telling. It's actually the show story. When it comes to the house story, none of them want to like go deep, even into the Monday, whatever happened on Monday. None of them.
Even this show story is not still acting. It's still acting. Aside from Perkins, we've not had anybody that talked about somebody giving them money, 10K. Àwọn olókun 10K fún, or 5K. And people should also be mindful that if the driver had information about all these things, at least the very first week that this thing happened, the driver will narrate the story to people now. The Prado company would also narrate.
Engineer, the fact that this driver is coming out to give us the claim that the money that was given to those guys was paid into his own account, okay? It's giving us it's giving us evidence of most of his words, and it's calling people around there. You know, one of the things these guys have been doing is to dance you and I around without giving us
And I also want to ask, yeah, I don't know if I heard this right. They said that when they got when they went to get medication, that they also got painkillers. So I don't know where that story was true. If it was just like first aid, just to like clean the blood and all of that, the spirit and all of that. I don't know if they actually got like pain relievers. If they did, so me, I want to be of the opinion on that. All of them should also be, because they gave Mohbad something else, something to they gave him medication as well. So all of them are going, instead of them to take him to the hospital, to get medical attention. They were busy going to, self-medication on him. So I
The
don't know.
medication you give to him kill him before the nurse came.
But the nurse said she met him really, really weak. He could be part of the medication that he has already taken.
Mohbad that make him to change to converse. Mohbad did not converse until the nurse came. So whoever that makes him converse takes responsibility. The nurse should have checked Mohbad, do tests. That negligence will be written against her.
Just her, Papa.
It depends on how there is a court that interprets the law. I mean, but for police, so far, police is not arresting every other person. So
because
Papariano, do you know that in DJ Bami's statement, he said Mohbad vomited before calling the nurse? He said after Mohbad ate the spaghetti.
That's another version. That's this one.
Exactly.
Seventh version.
Yes, so in his own No, not lie now. DJ Bami's statement said Mohbad vomited.
That is not in the CTC. That's what I'm saying.
It was
no.
Statement. No, somebody was reading it. I
read it.
Okay, yes.
On the newspaper, somebody that went there, just like when Harry went. Some said the driver said that there was a noise. Some said there was no noise.
Papariano.
Okay, because I thought it was in the CTC. This one made me so confused. Like, how come Mohbad was vomit before the nurse?
Do you know that?
Exactly.
The only reason why I'm supporting Yomi on this justice for Mohbad is just simply that the awareness is trying to create. That is the only thing that can get us justice. It might not be him that would eventually lead us to that justice, but some with his awareness, all this protest and every other thing, if he keeps the energy going, people might come in and one day will ask for true justice. If not so, all the story that we talked about on this case started from spending, and most of it are not right. Most of the story are not right. Nobody, I don't know if anybody has the right this, no, or one of the suspects is saying the truth, but in my mind, I don't think any of them is willing to spill the bean. If you look at them, their confidence, body language, and every other thing, there is a kind of assurance that is given to them that nothing will happen. Well, I also ask that when is the DPP? At least the DPP have advised that these people are culpable. They need to charge them. When are they going to pick them? At least send them to jail first, and they'll start going from jail to court. You get? But if you look at spending, the way he dressed, the way people will go with camera, he's still going to be smiling, laughing, rubbing his palm together. Now, wow. That means we are not getting anything. We never reached there. If the story touch her, they go they sweat inside AC.
Yeah, but you see, but what if he knows that what he have within him is not going to send him to jail, because he's going to, like, at the end of the day, he's going to expose everything. What if that's why he's relaxed?
Oh, honestly, that's not even the thing. What if Spending knows that he never did anything wrong? It is just by calling the nurse. There is no conspiracy between him and the nurse. And they say there is another history that nurses used to come to the house. They even said they called the first nurse, and she said she's not around. So there is no crime calling saying that I have a nurse. Let that nurse come. Only if there is a conspiracy between he and the nurse, that there is a text like, and when you come, give him this, do this, do. If he gave directions to the nurse, okay. If they found out that one, it makes sense. But if there is nothing, only giving the number of the nurse, and he even said, I did not call the nurse. They called the nurse. DJ Bami or whosoever called the nurse. They spoke with the nurse, and when the nurse came, he was not there. So I don't think there's anything Spendy should be worried about. If he truly he knows that he has no hands. Yes, Mr. Rotimi.
Now, I think we have found fault in his story because he said he did speak to the nurse because the nurse number was not going. That is why he dropped the number with him, right? But when the nurse came, the nurse said, Spendy first talked to her that come and treat my friend. Okay? I've said this time without number that this is where I see lapses in Spendy's story and the nurse. It was when the nurse got to relay that DJ Bami call now came in again, giving her direction to Mo's house. But that aside, if it has been established that Mo died on Monday or died on Monday when they got home, Spendy cannot go scot-free because he was in the house. We're having a good lead now about this driver's story, how all of them stayed in the house till he left. So situation arose in Mohbad's house at 3 a.m. for them to rush out to go and do something. Yes,
if Spendy has to go down because he was in the house, it means everybody in the house has to go down too.
Exactly.
Sorry,
that one is understandable.
Yeah, at the end of the driver's interview, I don't know if it was an interview or something, he said on Monday, that was when the deed went down. He said on Monday, he said that was when the deed went down. Listen to the end of it.
It was on Monday. The Monday, the Monday,
Rotimi, 1 minute, let me say something. You see, I want to say this now. If whatever was going on that caused the fight between Mohbad and Wunmi, now listen, before they got to Ikorodu, that is from Oniru to Ikorodu, we were told that was when the misunderstanding started. And they got to Ikorodu, and Mohbad went to perform and came back. And that same argument continued all through the way from Ikorodu to Lekki. They fought, according to testimonies now. Now, tell me, whatever that had happened that made them to fight that hard, that made them to have that long hour fight or whatever. Tell me, what would not happen when they got back inside? Yeah. It's just common sense that it's definitely going to continue after they got back.
Listen, let me corroborate your saying. This is where when Papariano will be dragging this their son, I won't call his name, we know who I'm talking about, who is more less like, what is his name now? Adura. Because I don't see difference between this one fan and Adura speaking. A son that will be looking grand and be talking to the public. A son that is not even confident in what he is doing. A son that is not even rugged. His approach is so dull. And vital to the idea. You are having a new lead coming from the doctor, from the driver. And you are not talking about a man who has an injury and his spouse fighting him. Do you think the injury will not get worse? You are not establishing all this fact.
Are you there?
I'm here.
I want to read this to answer the question you've been asking since, so that's why I just went to get it. So section 161 sub 1 of the Criminal Code of Nigeria. A suspect arrested, detained, or charged with an offense punishable with death shall only be admitted to bail by a judge of the High Court under exceptional circumstances. So now the offense of these guys, is it punishable by death? I don't think so. So that is the
It's
principle.
a capital offense. It's a
No,
capital
no, no,
offense.
please. Negligence is not a capital offense in Nigeria, please. Don't say it's capital offense.
Mohbad case itself,
Negligence is 2-3 years imprisonment now. What are you saying?
they killed,
Murder.
they fight the guy now. Now
No,
murder
it's
case
not
now.
murder. Murder is a. Do you know what is murder in law? Murder means they can prove that there was intention, there was premeditation before you committed it, not a death by mistake. Negligence is you didn't do what you're supposed to do by mistake. Please, let's know those things.
Thank you for that, Papi. Like, people always get misconstrued about this. If you have an intention, that's when it becomes murder. But if it's not intention, it's manslaughter. Okay. I was just going to ask Rotimi a very quick question. Has he gone? Oh, okay, he's on the call. He's saying something about spending, and the question is, what Rotimi captured about spending, was it the one written in the CTC?
I'm hearing you, bro.
Yeah, what you said about spending, about you said the conflict in the story. I think we have to go with the one in CTC, isn't it?
As the CTC out yet? Have you seen the CTC?
No, not yet, no.
So what we are still carrying is what people that went to court wrote out for us. Okay? And I can remember vividly that one of his testimonies, and even in the social media where they call him TikTok, where he has testified, he said he never spoke with the nurse, that the number was not going. That is why he dropped the phone number with DJ Bami or with me thereabout. But when the nurse came now,
hold on, I like what you said. This is what I wanted to ask Papariano. We're all capturing different utterance from all these people outside the court, okay? And from what I learned, the court wants to go with whatever statement is made in the court. So how do we bring this conflicting different story that's been said outside? How do we bring that into court? Is there any way of doing that?
How do we do what?
For example, all of them, including Baba Mohbad as well, I saw blood soaked with blanket, but in the CTC, he never mentioned about blood soaked with blanket. It said maybe like a stained blood.
No, CTC says so. It says so in CTC.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying, for example, we have so many stories where what is written in the CTC is different from what the utterance of these guys when they get interviewed in the public. So how do we do that?
Though it's a different investigation, but for me, you cannot speak for you to speak in the inquest. Most of the times, you would have spoken to the police already. All right. The way I know, when I follow documentation, the way I know it's done in advanced countries.
Papariano, I found it.
Please wait. Yeah, you will send it to me. Just send it to Papariano. Papariano, I'm not gonna play it here because I have to put it on studio so everybody can see him. Yeah. So now, what I was saying is the way it's done, the way they do it, okay, authorities will be there in the inquest, listening to the witness or whoever that is speaking, right? So because the person has spoken to them before, if authorities see that this person says something different, right there, they will arrest the person, take the person back to their custody to upgrade themselves, like to investigate the person again. That's how I know that it is done. So everybody who spoke in that inquest, police are supposed to be there listening to them because police duty is to investigate at all time. At all time. They are the one with that primary duty. Police can never, if the state comes in, police they cannot continue. That is a fallacy. It was the police spokesperson that told Berekete that. What the man was saying is that whenever the state prosecutor, that is the DPP or the Attorney General, wants to prosecute the case to take it to court, police will have to respect them and leave it for them to take it to court. Because police also have department who can take cases to court. But we are talking about investigation of the case of the crime. DPP don't investigate, they only prosecute. So police is supposed to investigate everywhere. So right now, what should be done right now? If I was the son or the lawyer of Baba Mohbad, like I've always said it, if I, Papariano, was the lawyer to Joseph Aloba, looking at those kids, they have conflicting statements. After every inquest, I will
Thank
make sure
you.
I petition them to the police. I will be there with them. What they said there, I will still let them say it again. And if they sit in front of the police, if police doesn't arrest them, I will go on to conference to social media. I will take those police to other levels. I will show to them that they are not enforcing the law the way it's supposed to be. You understand? I will stand against them. I've told you, Sam, shit. Baba lawyer is not working towards something else. He's working towards the story of the nurse and whatever. And people are not seeing that. If I'm speaking, they will say Papariano is just speaking, it's not going out, it's not doing this. What do you want me to do? When I can see it
But
written in
Papariano,
my eyes.
Papariano.
Yes.
Oh, what you know is different from what the lawyer knows now. At least there's more like a briefing between the lawyer and his client.
No, that's what I'm saying. That the only thing that is hindering the lawyer or anybody not doing the right thing is because of the briefing. That is, we don't know what Baba has told him that come. I want this case to just end on the person. Don't go far. But me, I'm speaking as somebody who wants justice. I'm believing because people are thinking Baba wants justice, right? So I'm working with Baba with the mindset that he wants justice. So as somebody who wants justice, I'm saying what he should be doing. But him not doing it, then it means they have a different negotiation. Because when you see the lawyer will boldly say nasty things, and they are okay with it. Okay, they are okay.
No, Papariano, I might not agree with that. Maybe.
Let me give an example. Let me give an example. You don't have to. Let me give an example. For example, now, in the last interview that I played, his briefing, you know, after inquest lawyer do briefing, so his briefing was out of point. Because some shit, the man said that.
And even lied.
Wait now. Some shit said, though the pathology could not. Are you hearing me? Wow. I don't even know who I'm talking to. When it's back, I'm going to continue. I'm trying to answer because they don't understand. We have to be saying this thing to them one by one. And that's why I like repeating myself many a times.
But please wait, Papariano, because I would like to hear it.
Just wait, I need to clear this map because if you don't clear the one by, they will go to other platforms saying the same thing. MD, are you back? Beta, are you back?
SA
Beta. Just go and say what you want to say before it comes back.
Yeah, you know, just in line with what you mentioned, then if this public, whatever you can call them, maybe they're making sure and they're making a different stories. I'm talking about these people and they're giving us different stories publicly, maybe a private interview or maybe person on the TikTok or wherever, you know, just a public interview. And they say something completely wide off the mark to what is being submitted at CDC. So at one point, can public go to the police that this is what this guy said, or does it have to be Baba to go and say that?
You know, any party who is really in the case, you know, like a foundation or any devoted person in the case can have a legal team put together and then approach the authorities as an observer, okay, and tell them that the rule of law has been breached. There are conflicting statements, but it is betterly done by somebody who is in the case, right? Because you are a complainant, you are affected.
Yeah, that had more weight.
Justice, you know.
Okay.
So, like Adebe Yomi was in the coroner inquest for Bankole and Smith. You know, that would have probably could have operated through them. But right now, Mohbad is the one that is there representing the public. What his lawyer should be doing is to be taking those points and be approaching the police. Because approaching the police right now, this way, if police is able to arrest the driver, let's say police take the driver there right now, right? Listen, let's say police takes the driver to the, let's say Sanshit petition everybody in that house and say that because that driver has said that he know about about Mohbad's death as early as possible, right? So everybody in that has conspired and they are wrong, they came over, right? So Sanshit will be there in the police station and all Sanshit needs is for the driver to repeat what he said in the inquest. Once the driver can repeat that, Then Sanshit will tell the police that right now we are between two people. The only way to go is to do forensic. Now you have more valuable reasons why you want to do forensic. If police refuse, you write an application to the DPP or to the Attorney General of the state, right? Asking for a fiat.
Exactly.
You want a private prosecution because you don't the authorities aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, or you even want to ask the court through a mandamus to force the police to make sure that they do that. So these are areas to operate. So now, if Sanshit take these guys before the police, petition all of them, that's everybody in that house, the 15 or 8 of them, petition them and uses this driver testimony against all of them. You know what that will do? That if police is able to detain them or find them guilty, suspect them, that will help coroner inquest result. Coroner inquest that is already ready to conclude on nurse kill Mohbad, that will make coroner inquest now feel like, I was thinking it is not so. Now coroner inquest will not be able to focus on that nurse narrative. So you understand? But if everything goes down this way, if they continue to follow it like the way, because me I've seen it, I've checked their pattern. In maths, they say if you see 2, you see 4, you see 6, you see 8, you see 10, you see 12, you see 14, you know the progression, you know where the direction is going. When I see Sanshit, whenever I speak, I see him as somebody comfortably like walking and pushing the narrative of the nurse. And Prime Boy, like he had injury, he punched through the glass, and then they not shoot him injection. That is where this man is going. This man is not trying to look for any tiny thing to puncture the lives of all of these guys. It's not doing so. It's leaving it to the coroner. But if you as a lawyer who is bidding, you are bidding, you are trying to show the coroner to see that these people conspire, to see that nurse did not kill Mohbad, to show different kind of things that could have happened to Mohbad. Because if you look at this case, you can tell that this guy could have died from a different cause rather than the nurse, right? But the lawyer is not doing that. So at the end of the day, believe me, if you continue this way, you will only have the coroner conclude based on what she has. That is nurse by Mohbad, and that is the certificate that they will do for Mohbad. Because one of the duty of the coroner inquest or the coroner, that don't forget coroners are lawyers. They're not medical doctors.
Yes.
The coroners, lawyers always come to invest. Lawyers can also investigate cause of death. That's what we call them coroner lawyers. Legal. So whenever the medical doctors fail, that's the pathology. Medical pathology, they are the ones supposed to find cause of death. But whenever they fail, where they cannot do it. Now, lawyer is more psychologically trained, criminally trained. So those criminal lawyers, they come in there, they try to use their brain to see whether they can find out what particular thing might have led or caused his death. So those lawyers in the inquest, right now, they are trying to find what killed Mohbad so that they can do death certificate for Mohbad. That's why they tell you that in the conclusion of the inquest, there will be an interim death certificate for the deceased. So even if pathology doesn't find cause of death, they say inconclusive, right? Inquest will never say inconclusive, never. Instead, they will not conclude that investigation. Or instead, inquest will not be concluded. For inquest to be concluded, to say inquest is finished, it means they are able to come out with a reasonable cause to say that this is what they can say at large, kill Mohbad. And they will now boldly put that in the death certificate and send it to the office of the National Population Center, where it can be put into registration. Okay. So that is the procedure. Okay. And you will see there in the Lagos Corona law.
Thank you for that. Now the question is, I'm going to sway towards Baba now. You know, we keep saying Baba, the relationship between Baba and the Sanshit. Does Baba have a legal, the critical thinker, something like that actually sit down with the Sanshit and have briefings and kind of reflect?
All that I see is this, right? All of them, they are worshiping Sanshit. They are seeing like a god. They don't think that he should be guided. In fact, they are staunchy, they are loyal people. So people who are very loyal like this, there's nothing you want to do. They will say if you say this, you are cursing. If you say that, you are cursing. That, the man is son. You want to tell him what to do.
The reason why I'm saying this, Papariano. There's some people, excuse me, Big Ola. There's some people among the Baba team, which I want to believe they're actually looking for true justice, even though they're very protective of Joseph Aloba. And I believe those people can actually step in to kind of redirect Sanchitu and on kind of advice. Right, listen, we're not happy with what's happening, and what can't we push further? And let's do a thorough investigation on these guys because their side has been inconsistent.
That's not allowed in their camp. All of them, no matter how much they come online, they only come online to fight that don't talk about legal things, let them do their job. They are not trying to let's say Bankole and Smith, who is very friendly with the public, and maybe they were in this case. Me Papariano, believe me, I would have called them so many times. But with the way this Baba Mohbad team are, even if you cause some shit now, before you know they will see you now. Before you know they will say you.
So everything is ring fence.
They will say you said something. They will be dragging you with that again. Imagine Papariano called some shit and was saying this and was saying that, and then some shit told Baba, and then Baba feel like Papariano has been compromised. This and that. They are just so lost. They are sleeping. We are always very, very ahead of them. If you don't know, wherever we were last year, they are just getting there right now. All the things we complain, we talk about, they are just getting there. That's why we cannot be anybody on this platform. In fact, you shouldn't have any mental health issues because you already know what's going on. You already see it all. We complain, we shout. I even do the crying. I do the crying so that you guys will not do the crying later. They are the one crying right now. Should I be crying with them? Am I stupid? When I've seen all this things happening, they could have taken precaution. They refused. They were fighting. What do they do on the platform? Causing, fighting. Basically, that is just it.
You know why I'm saying this? Because when you look at the last coroner inquest and the last two coroner inquests, for me, I think it should be frustrating for the genuine, true justice seekers, what's been happening. Even when you look at the testimony of the driver, that this one will analyze.
You see, if let even say I don't want to be part of it. If I want to even set their team right. If I want to set their team, I would have said, let somebody like Ishak, okay, even take that Ishak at least he has legal knowledge. Let him even take the position of Grexy. I don't know what that Grexy means. He's just trying to be political. I know police, I know this, I know that, and taking money is on pension, on payroll, paying him for nothing.
Just like mercenaries to me.
You can see the guy, like when he speaks, you see a lot of sense. Aside from when he's doing what. When the guy is like saying his thing, you listen to him, that's another person you can learn from. Out of all of their circles, they are like that. Even myself, there's only one person that I can learn from, is from that Ishak guy. Because it's the one that when he says his thing, like I got some respect for him. Unless maybe he's doing what crossing whatsoever. But the people that you have when you remove him, every other person they are in darkness. In complete darkness. And Grexy, okay, who I feel should understand what's up. Grexy is playing games. It's just so stupid and playing games. And Baba is the ones that will suffer because people who trusted in him, who put all their money, trust, and Baba is even going up saying, we'll get justice. Imagine how they'll be feeling right now. Even Bogudis has not even come last since 3 days now. You see? She will claim that she's fasting. She will claim one thing again. So,
yeah, it's kind of frustrating.
If they quickly petition those guys and make Sanshi take this thing, Sanshi should activate. If Sanshi activates, he will be going to Arise, going to big TVs, and you will see him fighting. Imagine this was their son. You will see them fighting. It's because Mohbad is not their son. And they are only doing what they were told to do. And that's why I keep saying. This thing that they are doing to Mohbad, like this, God will judge them. If Mohbad was Grace's son or any of these people, believe me, they would never do this nonsense that they are doing. Never.
So the way I looked at the Papariano, I know you're talking about Mohbad himself. but I'm actually talking about Nigeria as a whole. You know, in what is happening now, it doesn't reflect a good, how would I say, a good reflection for the country as a whole. If you can't find a true justice, and we all see the way everything is being played out, you know, they're like, how would I say?
Nigeria has always been a survival state. Those who know how to, those who know their way, they will survive the system. There's a systemic problem in Nigeria that is political, is highly politically, and like no matter how you shout, and these issues like this right now is as one of the systemic problems that we're having. When the system is bribed, is corrupt, there's almost nothing you can do. Even if we get just from Mohbad right now, does not guarantee that if this same thing happened to someone else that has more connection than Mohbad, that will get justice. So we still have those porosity in the society that I think the problem should be fixed politically, where we should have accountable leaders in the Aso Rock and also in different states, and who are also empowering the Ministry of Justice, paying them. Look at recently, Ministry of Justice of Lagos was complaining that the money was not enough budget, and they had to make some increasement like
Yeah,
that. I mean,
apart from that, we are well learned and we document everything. Look at the constitutional the laws that you've been quoting and the process concept. It's always there.
without
But,
it,
but people always try to,
they don't follow.
circumvent and just dance around it, just to to manipulate stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, whether we get just Mohbad or we don't get just Mohbad, worse things than Mohbad death has happened to Nigeria. Nothing has happened. There's civil war uncle. So many different people have even been killed, cold-blooded, and nothing was done, no justice. So the system is corrupt. There's a systemic problem. There are things like this will just continue to happen, like until the system is fixed. It's a systemic problem. It's a systemic problem. Even if you address it today, doesn't mean worse case and Mohbad may not happen tomorrow, and nothing will be done again. So the system is still not allowing growth. It's not allowing proper growth and ethics to be established.
Yeah, I just believe that if a Mohbad case will actually act as a kind of a warning, if we get the true justice, that okay, there's
I
some
don't think so. I only
yeah,
think it will just be a victory for the moment. I don't see Nigeria changing from the whole Mohbad case.
wow,
Nigeria is systemic. Nigeria issue is bigger than Mohbad case.
wow.
Nigeria is a far too bigger problem than Mohbad. Mohbad is just one of those issues that we are having that's affecting one area.
At least this case will probably, I don't know, structure things out within the life of Mohbad and within the youth killing themselves and all those things.
It depends on how many youth is interested in justice now. Do you know how many youth who doesn't even care about justice, who have forgotten justice? If it was a top priority for them, believe me, they would have still been in justice. But they have moved on because there are bigger problems. If Mohbad case was the biggest problem for Nigerians right now, they will still be in the case. There's one video that I would have played to you, but my phone, I'm using that same phone right now. That video, when I go live on my studio or on FM studio, I'll put it there and you will see. Like, I can't even tell, there were over hundreds of thousands when they were out during that September time, September 11. You're migrating automatic. Photo.
Yeah.
You know that video, right? That crowd.
Yeah. That was massive.
Look at how much they were so much, so fast. Yeah.
Good morning, Papa. Good morning. Quick question here, because I'm arguing with somebody. So, quick question, right? So, when the doctor said Mohbad was third stage, right? So, what is third stage is the doctor referring to? Was it third phase of mortis or third stage of rigor mortis?
No. Whenever they say third stage, right? Like now, let me quickly run through this so that others can benefit from it. And we have discussed this before.
Yes.
We talk about there are 4 postmortem signs that is used in knowing the condition of state of that of a deaf person. So, like when a person dies, the stages of decomposition, that the body begin to change from a life body to a death body. So the moment that body dies, what is the first decomposition? The first thing that stops is the blood. The blood stop flowing, and that is the first stage where they talk about pallor mortis. In pallor mortis, it's just like, so even sometimes when you are alive, when you have shortage of blood in your body, from your palm you can see
Or
white.
low oxygen.
Exactly, you can see some effect, some paleness, in some areas, right? So pallor mortis is talking about like the my God, I'm thinking about all that stuff in my head right now. Food, whatever, all those things together. But let me just put it together. So right now, so pallor mortis is the first when a person dies, right? Forget about this pallor mortis. That one is just like a Greek name, using a scientific name, right? If I call it by stage, when a person dies, the first stage of decomposition is the blood stop to flow in the person's body. So the stopness of that flowing of blood is already decomposition. That's the first stage. It's called pallor mortis. As long as the blood has stopped flowing, blood should never stop flowing on any living body. Once the blood stops flowing, it doesn't no pulses response any longer. In fact, blood stop flowing, right? The heart stop pumping blood. The heart stop functioning. Like the heart is shut down, it doesn't function any longer. Then the person is dead. No pulses, nothing. Pallor mortis is the stage where there is no blood, right? Then now, after in between 1 to 2 hours, in fact, sometimes it's simultaneous, depending on the kind of death, right? The second stage, guys, I'm hungry, but just let me be speaking. I hope you guys will be able to. The second stage.
I'm sure you're going to sleep after the food.
No, it's okay. Like, sometimes when you're on the bed, you're too relaxed and you're thinking so many things in your head. You are lazy to enter the kitchen. Let me come on camera. Maybe that will give you more focus.
Nobody
Wait,
is disagreeing with you in the comment section.
Hold this person. Papariano, it's not stage of decomposition. It's stage of mortis. Don't mind that person.
It's the same thing.
I don't mind. It's mortis, not decomposition.
It's the same thing. Papariano said it quite right. Continue, please.
Exactly.
Just continue.
In mortis, are you not going to see black dot in your body? Before black dot, is your body like a body that is decaying. You begin to see black spot, white spot, this and that. That decomposition. If you are alive,
yeah, that's blood clots. Yeah, blood
clots. Would you see those things in your body if you are alive?